Now this week, Paris is hosting the 5th edition of its annual Palestinian Film Festival, a festival that it says it wants to shine a light on contemporary Palestinian cinema as a specific entity in the Arab world. Well, the guest of honour this year is director and writer Rashid Masharawi. A self-taught filmmaker from the Gaza Strip, Masharawi has produced a long list of works, including Laila's Birthday, Take It to Jerusalem, Waiting or Writing on Snow. Mr. Masharawi, you've also founded a cinema production centre in Ramallah, and you started a mobile cinema, bringing screenings to refugee camps. I want to talk about all of that in a minute, but first, can I ask you more about this specific film festival currently taking place here in Paris and what its goal is?
Yeah, this festival this year it's the 5th edition, and for us as Palestinian filmmakers, it's very important because many of these films will not be shown here out of the festival because they have no distribution and not in television. So it's an occasion for audience to watch very important, interesting, shorts and long feature films. And it's not only about solidarity with Palestine, it's about art, it's about cinema, about culture. This year they are making a focus on Gaza, which is very important. Yeah, they invite many films and many filmmakers from Gaza, and many things are going on.
Which isn't an easy task, I imagine, because of, even getting in and out of Gaza isn't easy. Is that also part of the problem? You say the fact that we might be lacking a lot of the Palestinian films that are on offer is down to distribution. Is it more a monetary thing or a political thing?
It is. It's anything related to Palestine now, it's a politic. When you talk about Gaza, it's deep politic. For sure, Gaza, it's in a siege now, and it's very difficult for Palestinians in general, and also for filmmakers to get out of Gaza. Some of these filmmakers, they get out of Gaza. Some of them are in Egypt, in Europe, in America, and some come also from, with all the difficulties, some come also from Gaza, and it's an occasion also for the filmmakers to be here, to see each other, to watch films, to develop. It's very important.
And indeed, you yourself, of course, born and raised in Gaza, and the Palestinian territory is a focus of a lot of your films, notably one of them, Writing on Snow, is set there in the war in Gaza. Let's, before we go any further, give our viewers a quick taste of some of your work. The trailer there of Writing on Snow, which, looks in a way at the absurdity of not accepting others in general, even among Palestinians themselves.
Yes, this film, it's about the Palestinian division, because we have problems between Palestinians, and me, myself, I think it's catastrophe for us under the Israeli occupation to have two governments and not to be united, because if not, we will never get rid out of the occupation and other things. So it's also about accepting the others in spite of the differences, because we really split also ideologies politically in Palestine and in the West Bank, especially in Gaza, because there is Hamas, and in West Bank there is the Palestinian Authority, and Gaza under the siege, and the world is silent.
And indeed, that has changed since you were born in Gaza. What was it like growing up in Gaza, and how has it changed today? How?
It's a big change, because I born and grew up in a refugee camp in Gaza called Shati refugee camp, and I think in this period we were under the occupation, but our project was clear. We were all together under the occupation. We want to be liberated after Oslo, let's say, and all the authorities. So it became totally different, because it looks like we are a state because we have a president, ministers, embassies, but we are not. We are under the occupation all the time. So I think the biggest problem now, we didn't name the things the way how we should name them. We are under the Israeli occupation all the time, then and now.
Indeed, having those heads of state, maybe on an international level, blurring the picture in some ways. But you mentioned there you grew up in a refugee camp, and you have now set up a mobile cinema for, I believe, children in refugee camps. Tell me, how does that work? Where did it come about, and how are the children reacting to it?
Because after the first Intifada, which is at 87, they closed all the cinemas. And we don't have any, even not one cinema in the whole Palestine. And we were around 5 million, Gaza, West Bank, Jerusalem, without any cinema. So I came with an idea to make this mobile cinema and to show films in schools, in villages, in refugee camps, and to make once a year a film festival for kids. And it was going on. Sometimes we can manage, sometimes because of closures, we cannot get between the places to pass from Ramallah to Gaza to Bethlehem to Nablus to show film screening for mobile cinema. But actually, also for the Palestinians, if we want to make Palestinian cinema, if we want to make films, we must see films, watch films.
Indeed, I'm just absolutely baffled at the decision to close the cinemas down. And given that perhaps a lot of your film work is political, did that come into the decision? Is cinema seen as a political or an artistic tool for you?
I think it's more an artistic, but our subjects, because we are dealing with our life, with mainly like my films, it's more close to our daily life also. It's politic. But first, we are filmmakers. We love cinema. We want to make films because we are Palestinians, and we make Palestinian films. Now, it all was politic, but I think to be a Palestinian under the Israeli occupation, it didn't make you make good films. But to be a filmmaker, you can help Palestine, but not the other way around.
So when this festival very finally says they want to show Palestinian cinema as a specific entity in the Arab world, you can understand that?
Yes, I think more and more now with the time, the Palestinian cinema goes to the Arab world, to televisions, to cinemas, to film festivals. But still, it's a grow up, but it's slowly.
Well, indeed, if any of our viewers are lucky enough to be in Paris, that festival runs until the 10th of June, and I'm sure we can find many of your films if we look a little bit online or in good stores around the world. Mr. Rashid Masharawi, thanks so much for coming in and giving us your time.
Thanks.